Hey guys, what's up? Today we are looking at the Duesenberg Starplayer TV. Now this particular one I have, the color is the Catalina Sunset Rose. Now this isn't any kind of sponsorship or like a paid kind of thing. I'm just a small YouTuber trying to show you this guitar. I found this one on the Facebook Marketplace. I had to drive about 2 hours to go pick it up. It was a really killer deal. I could not pass it up. Basically like half off the MSRP. It is a 2020 new old stock. The dude bought it back in like February or March of this year, 24. He played it for a couple months and just decided I guess it wasn't for him. So the guitar is basically like in brand new condition. It doesn't have a lot of play time on it. For those of you guys who are maybe not real familiar with, say, like praise and worship guitar, the whole genre of praise and worship, it's a whole deal in itself. It's a whole community of, you know, guitarists and online with the pedals and the different, you know, gear and stuff. It's its own whole beast, you know, within itself. They're extremely popular in the praise and worship community. Also Joe Walsh, which I know you gotta know who Joe Walsh is. The Eagles, his own thing he did for years. He's a really awesome guitarist. It's been around for decades. Mike Campbell. There's a bunch of people who really love these guitars. They are a German boutique kind of deal, and the cool thing about them is they are made in their factory, and they're basically like kind of what you call made from scratch, I guess you could say. Like they wind the pickups, they make these guitars, every piece, every part is manufactured, fabbed up, and made in their shop. So that's a really cool thing. I mean, it's every little thing. It's not like they outsourced okay, this is Seymour Duncan pickups and Grover tuners or whatever. No, all of this is their deal, their stuff. I'll tell you a little story about the first time I saw a Duesenberg. It was about 5 or 6 years ago when I first started getting into actually the whole tone chasing, you know, kind of looking into the whole praise and worship style. I was kind of the dude who would like plug into a tube amp and kind of tones in the fingers kind of dude, you know. But I've been playing my church band for 20 some years now, and it took, you know, all those years to realize that maybe I need to lean into this praise and worship style more and see about these reverbs and delays and how to get these tones and try to learn this style more, because it is definitely it's its own genre. These guitars are very extremely popular in that, you know, that realm. This video I was watching about 5 or 6 years ago, a dude was playing one of these, and I just automatically thought when I saw that D on the body there that it was some kind of bougie Dan Electro that I'd never seen. And sure enough, by the end of the video, I seen the headstock or whatever. I started realizing I don't know what the heck that is. It's no Dan Electro. But as the years went by, I kind of heard of them, seen them here and there, and realized they're really cool. But they're kind of, you know, pretty dang expensive guitars. You know, they're boutique, you know, made by hand, kind of, you know, all that stuff. So I'm thinking, well, maybe might not get one, but I found this one used, so I kind of was like, hey man, this is my chance to get one, basically. But the Grand Vintage Humbucker, which is what they have in the bridge, that is obviously, like I said before, it's their humbucker, they made it. It is known to be a low to mid output, and it is very good for pristine, like a very clean obviously being a humbucker, it does the noise canceling thing, but it really is as the same way like a Filtertron does. It is really kind of like the best of both worlds, the way these do. Like, they cut through a mix, and that's what you're looking for with a lot of lead guitar, but the praise and worship thing, you're trying to cut through that mix and occupy a certain frequency of, you know, highs and mids and stuff, so they'll set pretty with the piano, the bass, and, you know, choir singing, whatever. It kind of just has its own place. But you have the Grand Vintage humbucker, then you have the Domino P90 single coil in the neck, which is their version, their P90. And I actually, something really cool I just learned about. I never really knew this, but when you click that toggle switch into the middle position, which is the combination of the humbucker and the P90, it actually has a low cut. It kind of chops some of that low, that woofiness that you would get on a traditional, something with, you know, two humbuckers or something. So it really gives it a good spanky, funky sound almost. But the P90, I've always been told they have that dirty, you know, they're wound thicker. They're a single coil. They're completely different than, say, like a Strat or something. I've been playing this guitar for a couple months now, and I wanted to have a couple of months under my belt with this thing before I made a video, so I could kind of really tell you what are my honest thoughts of it. You know, there's a whole lot of hype around these guitars. The tremolo system, that Duesenberg trim arm, that thing, a lot of people swear by them. They'll say that, hey, this is the best whammy bar out there. This is the cream of the crop. And I can't really say I could argue with them there. It is definitely, it's lived up to all those grand expectations that I've had about it. It's been a really cool guitar. The fretwork is just basically perfect. That first clip that I jammed, that was on my Vox AC-15, which is what I jam a lot of nowadays. But the only thing I had was a Boss EQ200 kind of boosting the signal a little bit, hitting the front end of the amp, kind of boosting the mids a little bit, the highs, and just a little bit of a decibel, kind of a bump. But that's all that was in that first recording, was the guitar, that Boss EQ200 and the Vox. I have another couple recordings I was going to show you. This one here, let's check out this. It's going to show you the three different positions. It's just a real quick one. I'm not going into no major detail, but you can at least kind of see a difference in what they have to offer, the three different pickup positions. All right, so we have one more to show you. I wanted to show you this one. Now, I am not the best as far as recording and getting good recording sounds. I'm all new at this YouTube stuff with, you know, miking them up and all that stuff. So this is not really no post-production going on here, but I just wanted to show you this Grand Vintage humbucker with some more meat on it, you know, hitting some more gain and stuff with the actual overdrive pedal and stuff, just to show you what it can do. You know, it's got a real crisp, just kind of a clean-ish, you know, raunchy sound to it that, you know, I see why they call it the Grand Vintage. It's like a very old school PAF, definitely. But check it out. Alright, so that is that. Some like metal on a basically pink guitar. Cool, dude. I kind of want to mention before we wrap this video up, I do not have much experience with like Gibson ES335s, that slim, that semi-hollow kind of, you know, that sound that Gibsons are really known for. It's got a certain bark, like a mid-rangey kind of, that they're just got a really awesome tone with those humbuckers that they have in those. As far as I am concerned, as far as my collection, this guitar is kind of does that for me. It kind of has that semi-hollow thing going on. I have a Gretsch Penguin, which also has a spruce. It has like a red spruce top, which this has some sort of spruce top to it also. This guitar has an amazing resonance to it. One other honorable mention, the back of it is arched, and it has kind of like a quilt, like kind of like a flame looking. It's really it's got some really good, I mean, you can tell it's very meticulously designed and very, you know, a lot went into this thing, just like say a good PRS or something. You could tell that this guitar, they put a lot into it, and the hype is real. So if you want my honest opinion, whatever that's worth, this guitar is what people say they are. It is really special. It's got a unique voicing to it. It's awesome for praise and worship music, but classic rock and stuff, man, it really shines. It is a really cool guitar. I'm glad that I found it and was able to jump on it. But let me know in the comments if you guys have a Duesenberg, if you've always dreamed of playing one, if you you know, would like to get one day, or if you know, played one and don't think it's all, you know, people say it's cracked up to be or whatever. Just let me know in the comments what you think, and we will see you next time.